In my experience, the best way to lose money on a deal or to just create a deal that ends up sticking you with too much money in a piece of gear is to trade for it. With that said, I traded for something awesome. I traded for this Vibrolux. Made in the mid-90s, super cool, 6L6s, two 10-inch speakers, really great amp. So there are a few basic questions I want to answer in this video. When should you trade for guitars and gear? Why should you do it? And 3, how do you technically, practically do it in real life? So the first one is, when should you trade guitars? To me, this seems pretty simple. You should trade gear as a last resort. It's a deal that you hold in your back pocket. I would rather deal in cash because when you're trading, you have to find something that is the same value. And there's too much meat on the bone when you just trade things, and all of a sudden you are either giving up a chunk of cash or you are getting too good of a deal on people. And when you're not constructing deals that leave dignity on the table for the other person, everything goes wrong. So it is our responsibility as people who like to buy and sell guitars and gear to leave dignity on the table, to create deals that give dignity to people that are buying from us. So, when should you trade? When you find that sweet spot of right on the money, I have a thing that is worth the same amount of the thing that you want. With Elliot, the amp that he wanted and the guitar that I wanted were about the same. Why should you trade guitars and gear? Because sometimes it's a better deal. Sometimes you can get a piece of gear that is cooler or better or exactly what you want or the color that you want. Sometimes I know of people that just trade guitars because I have a Telecaster with a maple neck, you have a Telecaster with a rosewood neck, and you guys just want to switch. That leads us to the third question, which is, how do you do it? One, you have to know the value of both things. You have to know what your piece of gear is worth and what the person's gear that you're trying to buy. You also should put some limitations on how many pieces of gear they can throw in, because what gets me is when you have these deals where it's, I have a $1,000 guitar, and you message me and you have 15 things that might be worth $1,000. But so it's like a Telecaster on one side and then your practice amp and your multi-effects pedal and your cousin's old guitar and an extra speaker cabinet that doesn't have a speaker in it. And so all of a sudden this deal's not a good deal for the other person, because instead of selling one guitar, now they have to sell like 15 things, and they're probably not gonna sell all of them, and they're gonna hang around. And we've all done those kinds of deals, and we all know that they're not helpful and they're not fun. Then you need to set a specific place and time. So the place needs to be a public place where people that you know and care about know that you're going. So you make sure to say, I'm meeting this guy at Starbucks at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna call you at 3:30. And if you don't, I understand that that sounds overly cautious, but it wasn't until years after a situation that I had where I was like, oh my gosh, that dude could have killed me and drugged me out into the woods and no one would have known where I was. I went and bought a Larrivee OM9. This is 10 years ago. I didn't tell anybody where I was going, and I went way into the mountains. This is back when you had to do like MapQuest. So I had printed off the directions to this dude's house because it was such a good deal. I got an OM9 for $600. But I ended up like going to a place way out in the woods that no one knew where I was, and no one would have known even where to start looking if the deal had gone south or like it had gotten crazy. It didn't, and that's an important thing. But listen, let's be exceedingly cautious in these situations. So when you're setting up the deal, tell someone where you're going to be, set clear expectations of where you're going to meet, when you're going to meet. Don't meet late at night, don't meet early in the morning. It just limits the amount of people that are going to be around to enforce the social contract of dignity, decency, and just making sure that the deal goes right. In the end, should you trade guitars? Probably. It's not a part of my skill set that I've done a lot of. To me, I'd rather buy something with cash, sell something for cash, and then use that cash to get more guitars and gear along the way. And that's how I view the trading up. But there are people that just do pound for pound trades, but it just makes it when you have to get exactly, I feel like it's a little sloppy. The denomination is too varied. I think that this is a really fair deal. So tell me in the comments below, tell me about your best experience trading. Tell me about your worst experience trading. Tell me, would you trade rather than buy or sell? It's a cool part of guitar culture that we don't talk about enough. So here are my first impressions of this amp. It doesn't stay very clean for very long, given these are broadcaster pickups, so these are hotter output, more of a bitey sounding Telecaster. But listen, like, here it is on 3. It definitely has some twanginess, but it's starting to break up even up at 3. I took it up to 5 or 6 just a minute ago. Yeah, so here it is at 6. Definitely breaks up a lot. The reverb also seems to really come alive up high. This amp is really cool, sounds really good. I'm blown away. I played it just a smidge. I played it for like 2 or 3 minutes with Elliot, but I am super excited about this. Yeah, let's play it some more. So let's check out the vibrato. And I know that this is actually tremolo, it's not vibrato, but Fender called it vibrato for a long time. Channel. So the normal channel on this doesn't have reverb, doesn't have vibrato. Oh, it's way cleaner. That's super exciting. So check this out. So the normal channel is way cleaner than the bright channel. The bright channel doesn't actually feel that much brighter, but keep in mind I have hearing protection in, so probably some of those high frequencies are dying off. But so far I really like the bright channel more than the normal channel. I wish that there was reverb on the normal, because the normal is a little more clean. but with an overdrive, I just really like reverb. Let's check out one more time how it sounds with humbuckers. I have a feeling that if it's breaking up this much with single coils, it is going to be eaten alive by the high output of my Rude Revelator. PAF style, nickel covered humbuckers, semi-hollow Carina body. This thing is like a way cooler, hotter, more gutsy deluxe reverb. I am amazed. This is awesome. This is such a cool amp. I didn't expect that I would like it because it's 35 watts. It's 6L6s. That usually to me is just too loud, too overbearing, but this thing is awesome. The 10-inch speakers are tight and they're punchy. They're loud. They sound really good. I'm totally in. I think that this amp is really cool. It's going to be really hard to sell this. This guitar has a funky quirk. Maybe it's just the shape of it. I don't know. But every now and then, I get a frequency that vibrates all of the air inside of the guitar. And when it does, it like tickles my arm. It like resonates like there's a speaker right on my arm. And it is a weird sensation. That's on 5. Like, that's not out, that is out of 10. So that's halfway. Let's go crazy. Let's go up to like 7 or 8. So in the end, the amp doesn't get much louder past 5, just more compression, more saturation, more distortion. This amp is super usable. If you would be able to switch between the channels, that would be helpful. You could do that. You could have an ABY on your pickup selector. That could be a little complicated, but you just have it last in your signal. But this amp is super rad. It's super diverse. It's done everything I wanted to do. Today, this is literally, you are seeing the most I've played this amp yet. I played it for just for a couple minutes to make sure that I'd want to trade my Strat. So, thanks for watching this video. I'm Jeremy, I'm the Guitar Hunter. If you dig this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I make more videos. In the description, there are links, there are affiliate links, and that's another way you can help me with this channel. So what I have in there is all the gear that you would need to have your own mobile guitar kit. Check that out. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, slanderous remarks. Put them in the comments below. I'm Jeremy, I'm the Guitar Hunter. Thanks for watching. So this is a Vibrosonic. There's a train right there and it's really loud.